Let's chat as I walk into Universal's City Walk here in Orlando, Florida about, man, if I could go to Halloween Horror Nights and experience it like in the best way possible, what does that feel like and why am I picking that? Halloween Horror Nights is the most popular Halloween event anywhere in the world. It is huge and people travel all over, so you better believe it is one of the busiest events you're ever going to experience. So if you want to come and you want to experience this incredible event and you don't want all the crowds, make sure that you're coming maybe midway through the season and during a weekday. If I was coming to Halloween Horror Nights and I wasn't a creator trying to make sure that I was getting that firsthand experience, I just wanted to go to fully immerse myself, this is how I would do it. I would spend a day doing a 3 or 6 house unmasking the horror behind the screams tour, because that just, oh, if you didn't see my vlog about that, it's so, you guys, these tours, I can't even articulate. They're so great because there's so much storytelling and detail and fun information about Universal Orlando Parks as it is, but the tours themselves, they take you into these houses with lights on. They show you boo holes, so you see where characters are gonna pop out, the triggers they use, whether it's a guest activated trigger or a character activated trigger, like there's, oh, and you can see just like the hand pulled latex that makes the wall look like it's peeling apart. You can see all the cobwebbing, you can see the flocking, if there's fake snow anywhere, it's just, 6 house behind the screams unmasking the horror tour. These, oh my gosh, I haven't done a 6 house tour, so I'm seriously excited. I've only ever been able to explore 3, so this is going to be 5 hours, 6 houses, lights on, all of the intricate storytelling, how they create things, and really seeing the level of detail and immersion that these creative people put into these houses so that we, the guest, can go through and really live through our nightmares and our worst fears. So I want you to come along with me. I'm not going to be able to film inside of the houses, but I'm going to be able to show you pictures from various spaces. So I'm going to share with you all the details that I can in between each one of these houses so that you really get a sense for what these tours are so you can come experience it yourself. I'm not going to give you any spoilers though, because you need to come do these. You need to come be a part of these tours. But I am going to give you enough information that you know that this is one of the best things that you can just utilize to really fully immerse yourself into Halloween Horror Nights here at Universal Orlando.
Just past the entrance for Universal Studios Florida. But before you get to the Hard Rock Cafe, you're going to find this pathway on your right. It's going to take you right behind Rip Ride Rocket, where you're going to check in the old Blue Man Group space. You're also going to be connected with a team member who's then going to put you in touch with your specific guide for today. You're going to meet your tour companions, make some friends, get a lanyard, a button, and an audio set with a 3M jack accessory. So if you have some earbuds that still plug in the old school way, you can use those, but trust me, you do not want to miss a beat of this tour. We're starting our FAR tour behind the scenes in the production area where we're not allowed to film, and I was able to take more pictures this year than I ever have in previous years. So we're starting off in the Insidious house. This door, when you first come into this space, is over 13 feet tall. So you definitely get like that overwhelm, that intimidation as soon as you walk in. Now, this is the front facade of the building. I will say one of my favorite things is that every year they hide an Easter egg. Sometimes it's a legitimate egg, sometimes it's a spider, a frog. This year it was snails. I actually don't remember the reason for the snails, but I know that last year it was frogs because one of the members of the leadership staff was afraid of them. I love understanding how things operate. So this guide, any guide that you go with, I've seen 3 different guides now. They're going to show you the boo holes where characters pop out of. They're going to show you what's hiding behind those screens, like she was showing with the flashlight. They're going to show you all these subtle little details. Now, I'm going to say right now, every year they have to put out permits, right, about these houses and what they are going to be, and they have to file this publicly. But so people don't discover what the houses are going to be before the house names are actually released. They give them a code name, and this year they were all desserts. So this house was called Pudding. I do have more of the desserts to come. I'll show you those later, but really quickly, as a Fallout 4 fan, seeing this monkey with symbols made me laugh so hard. So if you're into video games and you like Fallout 4, put a note down below. Okay, next house. Seriously, this house was nothing but fan service. Like, look at the Slimer goo. Like, isn't this fantastic? Honestly, though, I think my favorite thing in this house were these 3D printed incredibly adorable Stay Puft Marshmallows. They were all so full of expression. You guys, I can't even, like, this one looks so mischievous. I have some for all over the house. It's absolutely awesome. Now, this room is from the beginning scene where it shows like everything being frozen, and this is called flocking. It's so freaking cool because it legitimately looks cold. Like, you walk into these spaces thinking, oh my gosh, I think I feel cold. I think I feel a bit of that chill. So definitely a fun moment seeing that turntable. Yeah, I can't even. I think this flocking looks really, really cool. There's more of it to see later. Okay, back to the fun of the Stay Puffs. Like, seriously, they were everywhere. I wish I remember the stat on how many she said were placed in the house, because it was a ridiculously, like, insane amount of these guys everywhere. All right, here's s'mores. So the code name for this house was s'mores. So good. I have to say that this guy right here, he totally embodies how I feel about these houses. I'm not even kidding. Last picture, I promise. They're so freaking cute. There are some other things in here besides these adorable Stay Puffs, including these static figures, some other figures that are back here so that you really feel like you're in that monster environment. The storage facility, like, again with that flocking, so ridiculously cool. Next, we are going into the Monstrose house. This house is featuring folklore from Latin America. This house was a fan favorite last year at Universal Studios out in Florida on the West Coast. They were like, we have to bring this to Orlando. This house's code name was flan. It makes sense. Flan is a Latin American dessert dish. But yeah, they made all these arrangements. They got a lot of the set pieces out here that are these really huge, I mean, absolutely incredible pieces. In fact, I'm really shocked. I mean, these set pieces are absolutely monstrous, and they're incredibly detailed. They're just really remarkable pieces, and it's deceptive in this, so you have to trust me and just promise that you go take one of these tours, because they will not let you down. Also, the snail is hidden here. I just couldn't get a closer shot. I'm sorry.
These tours just do not disappoint. And this year, so far, like, I've only done 3 house tours. I've done 3 house tours the last couple of years. And this is my first time doing a 6th. So it's nice being able to see the break and what that looks and feels like, because I'm all about sharing with you, not just like value that's helpful as far as monetary elements are concerned, but how things feel, so that you can better understand what you want to do for how you want to feel on your trip. But it's nice to take a break. But I'm actually really blown away and excited about how many pictures we're able to take. Like, there's rooms where you cannot take pictures because, you know, there's maybe it's a borrowed IEP that they've licensed rights to for Halloween Horror Nights purposes, and there's only specific things that the IEP holder is allowing. Sometimes Universal just really wants to protect the integrity of the house and how people are going to feel when they go through it. They want to make sure that that isn't altered in some way, or that it doesn't lose its luster and excitement. So there's things like that they really try to protect, honestly, so that we as park goers, as guests, can go through these houses and really just get the full feeling for the houses. But yeah, I can't even. There's so many places we've been able to take pictures, and there's some really interesting facts. Like, there's stilt walkers inside the houses, which I did get to see going through some of them, but being able to see the scale of the zones that they're sitting in is sitting and standing in is really cool. Knowing that they get to keep moving because that's actually easier for them is really great. Seeing the 24-foot structure that is the Ghostbusters like building is absolutely just, it's so beautiful. I love flocking, which is like the fake snow effect that they have. The first time I saw it and just really got to see in full lighting how beautiful that was actually in the Dead Man's Pier Winter's Wake. So let me know if you've been to Halloween Horror Nights before. If you went a couple years ago, it was by far one of my favorite houses. It was just, the story was incredibly heart-wrenching and beautiful, and the set was just, it's, when I say it was a beautiful house, I'm not saying beautiful as in it was gory and just awesome. I mean, like, it was visually very stunning. And you can see a lot of that fake snow, which they call flocking. And so there's a lot of that, of course, in Ghostbusters, representing the new movie. And it's just, it's so good. I understand that the price point can sometimes be a pain thing for people, because coming to Halloween Horror Nights and trying to decide whether or not you're going to do one night, multiple nights, an RAP tour, if you're going to get standard tickets and get express pass, and whether or not you can budget to have anything else in it, I understand, because it is quite the investment. Do whatever you can to expand your experience, because time is all we have. So if you can budget it to really get at least a 3 house, if you can do a 6 house, great, but at least do a 3 house tour. Go to Halloween Horror Nights, go experience that. If you can come during a weekday, it's going to be less busy, it's going to be less costly. So those are some things you can do. But having one of these tours, and maybe, I mean, even doing an RIP tour if you can, that is going to expand your experience like you wouldn't believe. You are going to get such an immersion of storytelling and facts, not just about the houses and the scare zones, but about Universal as a park. So I highly encourage you to take a look into doing those. If you have any questions, please comment down below. We're currently just listening to her tell us as we walk back to the next 3 houses, which are in the way back of the park. She's actually giving us like history lessons on HHN and Universal. I'm telling you, you guys, it's worth it. So worth it.
License! Ladies, there's been a choreography change. We've cut the ballet. There's no point. So give me shimmy. Give me shimmy. Give me shimmy. But keep it all inside. Girls! From you, I need to see sass.
We're talking about how Universal is over 100 years old. A monster turned 100 this year.
I love walking through the scare zones during the day because just like with the lights on house experiences, it allows me to see all the details and fully appreciate the full transformation of these zones from day to night. 2 of the 3 houses that remain on our tour are located in the very back of the park, and we are starting it off with Universal Monsters Eternal Bloodlines. This house was incredibly pretty, and this first scene was heartbreaking and beautiful. I love this statue so much. I really wish they'd allow me to purchase one for myself. There's always a Universal Monsters house at Halloween Horror Nights, and this year it was an all-femme house, which is absolutely awesome. So not only the characters are female-led, but the house construction, design, even the background soundtrack, it's all female-led, which is such a fun experience. All of this cobwebbing, the appearance of artifacts that are left undisturbed for ages is just so cool. And I really missed my husband on this tour because we both really love Egyptology, and he would have really enjoyed seeing all these little details. When the house is active during HHN, this book is lit up and it feels alive. And when we look at the background, we can see some of that storytelling. She's fighting a werewolf, but is she going to succeed? There's going to be static figures that depict blood. So if that's not something you want to see, skip now. All right. As the story unfolds, we can see in the background the battle ensues and our femme fatales are fighting for their lives. But who actually lives on to fight another day? I'll leave that for you to find out. Absolutely beautiful. It's the perfect ending and a stunning way to walk through the end of this house. Goblin's Feet. Oh my gosh, looking under this sign, you can really learn what the true purpose of this tavern is. So if you wanted to skip previously, do so again on the next slide. Sadly, we couldn't actually depict the very first room, boo, but as we just pass into the back of the tavern, we learn that our suspicions are confirmed and they're in fact preparing us for dinner. Little lovely charred bits that remain. Gruesome. Again, I highly recommend that you listen to Echoes from the Fog because in that you learn the whole tale of Goblin's Feast and why this forest is so incredibly special to them. And again, the large set pieces. You guys, I am really impressed that we got to take pictures of these and I'm incredibly grateful. I cannot say that enough. And after seeing what lurks inside of those trees and that big giant hand, yeah, I think it's best that we vacate because I don't exactly want to be the catch of the day. And I shared this specific picture in the back because it honestly is so great to just see how misleading these tents are. They are massive, and it's really incredible to see what Universal Creative can come up with.
We're on our way to a Major Sweets Candy Factory. This is going to be our last house. It goes so fast. So fast.
As we walk behind the scenes of the Fast and the Furious attraction in which our last house takes place, I used to dream when I was a kid about being left alone in the parks where I could just wander behind the scenes. So adult me is very happy. All right, Major Sweets Candy Factory is a spin off of a scare zone that was located in the New York zone of HHN 31, so 2 years ago, in which we learned that this candy has been mixed with something a little extra, and it's changing the kids into murderous little terrors. Echoes from the Fog really shares this story in a fun way, as they do with all of their stories, and it demonstrates how this story takes place before
before the scare zone timeline and shows you when and how these kids started changing. Now, something that's really cool about these houses that you learn in these tours, the different kinds of triggers. There's motion activated triggers, there's character activated triggers, and then there's guest activated triggers. And this house allowed guests to push this little button. I mean, who isn't wanting to push the ominous little red button? And it caused something to happen to the guests both in front of you and behind you, which really is cool and allows the guests to get even more involved in these haunted houses.
It's so good, and that's a really great tip for someone who maybe doesn't want to participate in Halloween Horror Nights, but wants to kind of get some of those spooky vibes without being jump scared. You got to take those tours. The reason why I would start with the behind the screams tours is because I want to get that in-depth storytelling, all that information, and then I want to go into that house and look at everything I was told and appreciate it from that angle. I know people who feel the opposite. I know people who don't want to have the house experience completely unveiled to them before they see it, so that may be for you as well. We'd do an RIP, which is Universal's experience for VIP tours at Halloween Horror Nights. I would do the RIP tour because, one, you're gonna spend half the time as anyone else at experiencing everything that Horror Nights has to offer, and you're gonna get a lot more in-depth storytelling as well, not just on your way to the houses, but through the scare zones everywhere, and you're gonna get all kinds of really great, juicy, fun nuggets about Universal Orlando parks. Now let me give you more details about these RIP tours, because a lot of people look at them and they get sticker shock because they are a hefty investment, and this I understand. You also need to have separate admission tickets for that night. So not only are you paying for the tour, which technically when you do that, you're covering the cost of the guide who's going to be around escorting you directly to the door of these houses. There's no waiting in line, and directly to the actual carriage of whatever attraction you want to ride that night. So you're getting front of the line access for everything. You're getting all of their knowledge, all their juicy nuggets, all the information that they can share with you, which, believe me, they are professionally paid to tell you as much as they can fit in during your tour. You're also getting food included. There are a whole bunch of snacks and bites and yummy treats, enough to create a meal at the La Bamba Cafe, which is where they're going to bring you not just once but twice, because you get to stop there to have something to eat. Free bottled beverages, I should say they're included bottled beverages, coffee, and then you come back again later for water or tea or more coffee in my case, and dessert. So you have food, you have all their knowledge, you have their time, you have that front of the line access. And I'm telling you, you're usually done within like 4 to 5 hours. Most people go through this event even with Express Pass, and it takes them the entire length of the event to actually experience all the fun food, all the attractions, all the houses, all the scare zones. Actually, I take that back. Most people don't even like push for the attractions. So it's just, if your time is the most valuable thing that you can have in the entire world, it's going to value that time above anything else.
I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Premium Scream. Oh my goodness. Welcome to Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights Premium Scream Night. This is a brand new event in which we have access to all the scare zones, staggered entry for the haunted houses, all you care to enjoy, full-size food and non-alcoholic beverages. And we're starting with the Ghostbusters kiosk.
At this event, because you can enjoy as much as you want, you literally just walk up to any of the food stands and you just order. So simple, super simple. I grabbed this. It's so cute. Look at this Slimer corn dog. There's some really fun food. I'm really afraid. Oh, I got like all topping.
This is Slimer's Korean corn dog. This is a Korean cheese dog with Fritos, coated with Cheetos powder, ghost pepper sauce, spice, derby cheese, and mozzarella. And definitely make sure that you get towards the center, because that's where we found the bulk of the cheese, but it made for an interesting bite. This is our first scare zone. This is located in the New York area, and it's all themed with medieval torture devices. So as you walk through, it's just all these various ways that, well, human beings can be tortured. And there's even a stand where we can make a purchase. Welcome to a Quiet Place food stand. You guys, this was probably one of my favorite areas because not only was it well themed to the movie to accompany the haunted house that's here, but I mean, the use of red lighting above the zone, the fact that everything is a soft food with soft containers and soft utensils, and even no ice in the beverage so that nothing made a sound was just, well, this is just one of the reasons why this event is the best. Allow me to introduce you to our first beverage. This is Raining Blood, Old Forester Bourbon, Bravo Spirits, Lucky Farnham, Creme de Cassis, blackberry syrup, lemon juice, and a hint of smoked sea salt in a light-up bulb.
I have been tasting on this. It's not bad. You can definitely taste the alcohol. It's sweet and tangy. I think it's better than a lot of things I've had. It would roll a solid 12. It's definitely light and has flavor, and it's probably going to be one of the biggest crowd pleasers. But this little light bulb cup is going to be the reason why this sells out. It's a fun little souvenir if you want to hold on to it.
First up is Abbott's Farm Corn Chowder. This is a creamy stew with shrimp, corn, and vegetables. It contains shellfish, but it was gluten sensitive and it was really tasty. Next up is Melbrook's Baked Beans. Quietly cooked baked beans with mashed potatoes, cheddar cheese, and cornbread muffin. This was super tasty. Now it's time for dessert with the wooden board eclair. This is a spicy dark chocolate pastry-filled eclair with dipped chocolate ganache and a bloody chocolate plank. I think the best thing was that nail in blood. Honestly, if you've seen the movies, that's one of like the difficult parts to watch. But honestly, that eclair was really surprising. It was pretty spicy, but super, super tasty. Welcome to the Blumhouse Pictures Scare Zone. Our next scare zone on our list is in the San Francisco area, where you can find numerous characters from many of the Blumhouse favorites. Death Eaters experience in Diagon Alley. They start at 4 o'clock, so you can get in at least one viewing, if not two, before they pause until the actual official start of Halloween Horror Nights. So if you're not attending Horror Nights, you can come check them out.
Giving slaughter. Yeah. 1 inch jump. Okay, definitely at the start.
Now it's time for more bites, this time from El Mercado de los Monstruos.
I've been really excited about this. The food was good. The tostada I think was really nice and light. If you're vegan, it's a good option. I think you need to get a little bit less cheese. Personally, me, I don't like the texture of a cheese that is for vegan eaters. It's just a texture thing, but it honestly did have some goat flavor. So if that's something you really love, you're gonna get that. The textures are really beautiful. If you like more subtle flavors, the pork with the mole and the corn tortilla is going to be your jam. It's really nice in that corn tortilla. It's gonna give you a little bit of texture. I think would have been better on a tostada. It needed like some kind of a crunch. Still good. The thing that's been great, all this food is gonna like stick to you. It's substantive food in great portions. The last thing is the chicken. The sauce on the chicken was so freaking tasty. I loved it. It was flavorful and robust and zingy, and it was really, really worth it. It's a great skewer, so if you want to walk, it's definitely a great option. But
welcome to our third scare zone, you guys. This is the Swamp of the Undead. And somewhere in Louisiana, this is like private property where bodies of trespassers who were killed and like dumped have all turned into zombies and everything. Welcome to yet another food stop. This is at Casey's Drive-In, where they have the Slaughter Cinema 2 themed food. Here we have the vegan walking taco, which is Fritos, vegan chili, vegan sour cream, lettuce, Diablo sauce, vegan cheddar cheese. It does contain nuts, but it's vegan and gluten sensitive. And then we have the Ropa Vieja walking taco, which were Doritos, Ropa Vieja, salsa rojo, lettuce, sour cream, Monterey Jack, and this is also gluten sensitive. Returning this year for another feature is the Cinema Popcorn, which is flaming hot Cheetos flavored popcorn. This contains nuts, is vegetarian, and is gluten sensitive. I did not try the summer camp dog, which is an all beef Nathan's hot dog topped with Tostitos, nacho cheese, baked beans, pepper relish, and Cheetos. But I did eat these rocks from hell, which are crispy jalapeno and cheddar cheese stuffed lumps of coal, and they're vegetarian. They're so good. Now that we're thoroughly stuffed, it's time to finally start hitting some haunted houses. First up is the Museum Deadly Exhibits, where apparently the rotting stone has released an evil spirit, has infected everything, and they want to kill us.
Woo! Next, Slaughter Cinema.
I have to tell you, now that we've done several houses, that this is really impressive. They said it was going to be limited capacity, but every house has been a walk-on, like absolutely no wait.
You're gonna want to go. Prioritize Slaughter Cinema 2. It was so freaking good. Okay, now we're gonna go hit Eternal Bloodlines and Goblin's Feast. This right here, you guys, all the wait times have been like 5 minutes for the houses. I'm gonna tell you right now, before I give you the full down low, yes, it's totally worth it. I hope they bring this event back. The value is incredible. I'm loving the facade. Then we did Eternal Bloodlines. Really good. I really like it. I like that it's a full female house. That's really fun. So far, Slaughter Cinema kicking butt, but we've only done 4 houses. That said, we've had food from 4 different food booths, and we've done 4 houses, and we've sat and relaxed and been slow, and it's only 10. I mean, you can't say this is not everything. The Death Eaters are out again. Oh my God. Fabulous. Fabulous. Oh yeah. We got it. Yeah. They're gaining on us. I have chills. I have chills down my arm. That is so, I can't, like I would cry. I love it so much.
Major Sweets Candy Factory is actually inspired from the Sweet Revenge Scare Zone from 2 years ago, in which kids ate special candy and killed everybody.
I love it when you kind of sneak up on them.
In Triplets of Terror, we've been invited to a birthday celebration with Junior, Melody, and Harmony, which of course involves murdering the entire family. You guys, I can't get over these waits. Like, look at these lines. You will never see them like this at 8HN.
Triplets of Terror, if you love slashers, it is a slasher. There's nods that say 3324 because it's 2024, but now we're heading into Insidious. I don't get nervous on these. They're just people dressed up to me, but everyone is saying that this is the most scary. Okay, let's go check it out.
All night tonight, getting into every house, the 3 of us have been like, are you kidding me right now? Look at the non-existence of people in these lines.
Insidious is actually scary, but in the best way. There's so much going on.
The Quiet Place house is actually based chronologically on movie 1 and movie 2. It's supposed to be a little bit interactive, theoretically, the quieter we are, then the fewer monsters we should see, or something to that effect.
Quiet Place was really interesting. We actually went through it twice, and it took us not even 15 minutes to do that. That's saying something. So we did go through it quietly, super quietly, and then we went through it and we tried to scream and clap and make noise.
Really excited to experience Monstros, the Monsters of Latin America. This was a fan favorite house last year in Universal Studios Hollywood, and I mean, it's just based on cultural lore, but it's really cool when you can experience other culture.
Ghostbusters felt like a lot of fan service. It's really fun, and the little mini Stay Puffs are super cool. Monstros, that one was just pretty and kind of cool, honest to goodness. Insidious is definitely going to be one of the ones that has the most, the longest wait time, I think. It is, there's so much going on. So I don't want to spoil anything. I have to say this event has been really, really great. Definitely worth it. I think that in food alone, or even if you take out food and you assess the cost of the actual event ticket plus the express pass, which you're not going to get express pass with the waits like you've had tonight. There's just no way. Everything has been a direct walk on, 5 minutes direct walk on. So huge value. All the food, the water, the soda, like so much is included. My gosh, I hope that they do it again. I know it's a hefty investment, but if I am going to go to Halloween Horror Nights and maybe I only have a weekend, I only have 2 days.
It's a tough thing to decide between, RAP or Premium Scream, but being a foodie and the fact that it had staggered houses, I'm probably going to go to Premium Scream, but
I'm gonna hit those Unmasking the Horror tours, so I just fully immerse myself in every ounce of storytelling that there is at this incredible event. And let me tell you something, there's a lot of people who don't realize Halloween Horror Nights has its own lore. It's not like they just get some IP and they license it and they make a house for it. They do that, and they're really great at doing that. But the ones that the fans, the real diehards, really enjoy, they're actually intellectual properties that are created directly by Universal. And what's great, like Slaughter Cinema 2, that's actually a throwback to the original Slaughter Cinema, which was one of the most popular houses from the fans in years past. So it's just, and they just keep these stories going. They just keep intertwining them. They keep them going. And it's like every time you go back to Halloween Horror Nights, you're living through a continuation of that story. I hope that you will cultivate an experience that works for you and just gives you all the fun, spooky horror vibes. Cheers, friends, and thank you so much for hanging out.